There are few technologies which are being used for preventing adverse effect of plastic waste. First is polymer blended bitumen road. Plastic waste helps increase the strength of bitumen road, reducing road fatigue. These roads have better resistance towards rain, water and cold weather. These waste are being used in the process of road making. Secondly, conversion of plastic waste into liquid RDF. Firstly, plastic waste is segregated mechanically from municipal solid waste. Then the mixed plastic waste is converted into the more usable that is liquid RDF through catalytic pyrolysis. This method is not foolproof as like any other method. This method has its own lacunas as along with the plastic waste, other lighter materials are also segregated. Therefore, this segregated plastic waste is again sent through the conveyor belt fixed with the optical segregation device for 100% source segregation of plastic waste. Third method is the co-processing of plastic waste in cement kiln. Waste materials such as plastic waste used for co-processing are referred to as alternative fuel and raw material. The fourth technology which is being used is the plasma pyrolysis technology. It is thermal disintegration of material into oxygen stored atmosphere. It helps in disposing of all types of plastic including polymeric, biomedical and hazardous waste into safe and reliable manner. There are various legal framework for the plastic waste. At international level, we have United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea, popularly known as UNCLOS, which provides for the overreaching framework within which all the activities in the oceans and the sea must be carried out. Secondly, this legal framework, the United Nations Convention on Law of Sea, is important in the sense because seas, the beaches, seas, they are getting more and more polluted with the increasing use of plastic and other wastes. This convention was entered into force on November 1994. Part 12 of the convention, it includes detailed provisions on the land based resources of pollution, from vessels, seabed activities, dumping and pollution from and through the atmosphere. Secondly, at the international level, in relating to the plastic waste, we have MARPOL Convention. Annex 5 of the convention provides regulation for the prevention of pollution by garbage from ships. The this convention received a revised version as Annex 5, which was entered into force on 1st January 2013 to meet with the different needs. Thirdly, London Convention and Protocol. The Convention on the Prevention of Marine Pollution by Dumping of Waste and Other Matters, 1972, is popularly known as the London Convention, and it came into force in 1975. The objective of this convention and protocol is to provide effective control of all sources of marine pollution and take all the practical steps to prevent pollution by dumping of waste and other matters at sea. For these objectives, the convention and this protocol, it provides for a detailed guideline and provisions which are being followed. In the last is the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. Biological CBD, as it is popularly known, the Convention on Biodiversity is the very important convention relating to the protection of biodiversity, and biodiversity as we understand is getting a direct threat from every kind of waste. It is not about the plastic waste only, it is not about the medical waste only, but all sort of wastes, they are posing a direct challenge to the biodiversity. And to tackle these problems, to tackle these challenges, the Convention on Biodiversity in 1992, which came into force in December 1993, makes various provisions, and it makes various protocols. Article 6 and 8 of the conventions are particularly related with the impact of marine plastic debris. In India, there are various policies and rules relating to the plastic waste. First is the National Action Plan for the Climate Change, and second is the National Environmental Policy of 2006. The National Action Plan for the Climate Change it further categorizes or tries to achieve 8 different objectives, and the National Environmental Policy, which we have framed in 2006, it also tries to achieve the different practices, very safe and secure practices, with the use of which the objective of sustainable development can be achieved. In rules, we have plastic manufacture, usage and waste management rules, which was framed in 2009. Secondly, we have plastic waste management and handling rules of 2011. Thirdly, we have electronic waste management handling rules of 2011, and in the last, very recently, which was passed, is the plastic waste management rules of 2016. For our purposes, it is very much necessary to understand the plastic waste management and handling rules of 2011 and plastic waste management rules of 2016. Plastic waste management and handling rules of 2011, it deals with the plastic bags and some kind of plastic packaging, such as that used for namkeens or some other articles of food articles. Section 6 subclause C of this rule says that the municipality is responsible for the following things. Firstly, to engage agencies or groups working in the waste management, including waste pickers, and to ensure that open burning of plastic waste is not permitted. In few states, however, these rules are not being implemented in its true spirit. In few states, they provide penalty, they impose penalty for open burning of plastic waste like in Delhi. And secondly, waste pickers, they have also been given a role in the waste disposal. That was in fact very new and very innovative thought, and every appreciation must be made to the policy makers for this. Secondly, we have plastic waste management rules of 2016, which provides for many prohibitions and casts various responsibilities on different stakeholders. A gist of these measures is as follows. These measures, they have received different set of these measures, they were prevalent in 2011 rules also, but in 2016 rules they have received a modification. First is the prohibition. These rules say that carry bag made of virgin or the recycled plastic shall not be less than 50 microns in thickness. Secondly, it says that carry bags made of recycled plastic shall not be used for packaging foodstuff. Responsibility of waste generators is the another important feature of these policies, these rules. It says that it casts a duty and responsibility on every waste generator to not to litter the plastic waste. It also says to segregate waste and hand over to the authorized agencies. It also cast a responsibility of producer and brand owner. It says that every producer, brand owner need to work out modalities for the waste collection system for collecting back the plastic within a period of 6 months in consultation with the local authority or the state urban developmental authorities, and implement with 2 years thereafter. One more responsibility was casted on the local bodies and the gram panchayats to implement better the plastic waste management rules even to the rural areas. It says that the local body shall be responsible for plastic waste management system and for performing the associated functions. Reports, there have been various reports made by the committees. First was the CAG audit on municipal solid waste, which was released in December 2008. The CAG audit also recommended that the Ministry of Environment and Forest should consider providing legal recognition to rag pickers so that recycling work becomes more organized and also ensure better working conditions for them. It was the first time that the CAG underlined the need and importance to distract from the conventional approach and to include red pickers within the ambit of rules and regulations, because they are an important stakeholder within the waste management. However, they have not been given any say or any attention by the previous mechanisms. There have been 2 committees in this regard. First is the Asim Burman Committee, which was formed by the Supreme Court in the case of Amrita Patel versus Union of India. This was a PIL. The committee was formed under the chairmanship of Mr. Asim Burman in March 1999. The committee recommended for organizing waste pickers to collect recyclable waste from the shops and establishments. Second committee is also very important. It made a high power committee on urban solid waste management in India soon after the 1994 plague outbreak. The Ministry of Environment and Forest has constituted this high power committee in 1994, and the committee recommended that recommended for replacing the informal sector scavenging from roadside dumps and disposal grounds by organized ward level recycling and recovery centers.